Hello, knockouts. Let me give it a second to twirl up. Hello, knockouts. Tonya Tko here. And today I am doing this live video because I put up a very inflammatory video yesterday. And there were a lot of people who had a lot of different things to say. So I'm giving you all the opportunity to come forward and confront me live rather than sitting back in the comments and saying whatever it is that you choose to say. Come confront me live about the video that I put up yesterday. Hello, everybody, and let me know where was the lie. Where was the lie in my video? Hey, everybody. I feel like my lighting is darker today. Let me get some of my, let me correct my lighting in here. Hold on for 1 second. Let me open up some windows or something. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Let me see if that helps. Does the window help? No, I didn't. I didn't get the lighting didn't come up anymore. All right. So, all right. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. So there are many people who have many different questions. All right, but the questions are going by so quickly. Hey Kiki, welcome in everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's take a look and see what we have here. So if I don't get to your question, I need you to post it again. And I'm Hollywood saying I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was beautiful too. And Taima is saying, I thought you made a good point. Baby saying, I need to listen to your relaxing MP3. Key saying, how do you know those black men aren't great fathers on and off the stage? And Dupree is saying, I got a lot of backlash from my comments I left as well. Francine is saying, hey, Tanya. SR is saying, was there a lot of backlash? I just saw one guy, oh no, that video has more than 300 comments in less than 24 hours. And so, and Bad Sad is going through some things over there within him or herself. I don't know which or which. So, okay, so how do we know that those guys aren't good fathers on or off of the stage? Okay. You know, I hope that my comments were not seen as me speaking about those men individually because I don't know those men. What I was really mainly referring to is the tremendous amount of hoopla created by them just being there. And this MP is saying, we don't have any faith in black men. This video proves it. And Mind is saying, some people don't understand the concept of what you were saying. You were not speaking of them individually. You were speaking about what they represent collectively. So yeah, so that is true, right? And AC is saying, I completely understand what you were saying. Okay, so AC, if you say that you completely understand what I was saying, then please give a quick summation of what it is that you felt that I was saying. So I wasn't talking about those men individually and what it is that they and who it is that they are individually on that stage because we don't know those individual persons. However, what I was speaking about was this, and you know what, and a lot of this was expressed in the comments on the video that they were like, oh, at least they're not absent. Oh, at least they showed up. Oh, my father wasn't there for me. Oh, black men need to be congratulated for even just being there. And this actually trampolines my point. It trampolines my point that so many of us are so desperate because of the dearth, because of the aridness of access, that even just merely just showing up creates a waterfall of just reverence and appreciation for just existing in a capacity of one not being absent either by choice or by incarceration, because one person actually said at least they at that moment were not in jail. And I'm like, is this what it is that we've become? That we have to sit here and be like, well, at least at the moment that they were on the stage, they were not actively incarcerated. And it makes me sad. It makes me sad. And then another thing that made me sad was the amount of people who came out mocking me for quote unquote not having a father in my life. And you know what? And I felt that in my heart. I felt that in my heart. I felt the pain of that in my heart because like how you go through REM and your eyes are moving fast back and forth? Like I was reading that and I was like scanning inside of my memory, attempting to connect to the collective energy and tap into the energy because we're all connected, and tap into the energy of a person who did experience that pain. And it made me feel sorrowful that see, this is the thing. The absence of Black fatherhood is so prevalent that people felt comfortable in taking a wild gander about me and my life, and concluding that I didn't have a father in my life because the prevalence of it is the preponderance of it is so prolific in our community that it didn't even occur to them. I mean, you all who watch my videos, whether or not I did or did not have a father in my life, and the caliber of that man or non-man. Anyway, let me read some of the comments because I was on a little diatribe for a moment. So, hello El Guapo, hello. All right. And Mind Over Matter was somebody who was going hard in the comments. And so Mind Over Matter says some people don't understand the concept of what you were saying. You were not speaking of I read your comment earlier. Okay, good afternoon. Just got here. Hey Chantel. Hey Guapo. And Kiki say, no, I get it, but a lot of times we undercut positive parenting to continue the bad parent narrative. And you know what? And I didn't call any of them bad parents. I didn't call, and that's another thing. I wish somebody could point to any derogatory name that I called them or anybody else. So Pretty Dirty is saying, I think she was trying to, that they were put on parade as though this is something that we shouldn't or would not expect. And that there are men that do this and should. You know what? Pretty Dirty TV. Let me give you a shout out on that. Precisely. Precisely. Like we are acting as if this is the extreme abnorm. Okay, and then CG says, what's up with the part where the kids move to the side and the men perform without them? Sounds like upstaging to me. And then there's that. I mean, there were some people that saw that as an upstaging. I saw it as, and you know what? And I think that all of the parts are important. I saw that part as, you know, these men really don't get any shine. Let's allow them to do a few moves and get some shine. So they allowed them to do a few moves, and then boom, they got to do their little thing that they rehearsed backstage, their powder bourré. And Mind Over Matter saying showing up to a dance doesn't mean these men are not absent dads. They have made the wrong conclusion. Okay. So this is the thing. Seeing that video and seeing them on the stage doesn't doesn't mean that they are consistently and actively in that child's life. That we've created this romanticized view of, oh, if he is available and not incarcerated on one day and able to be there and get a suit and be present on the stage there, that means that he's a good father, etc., etc. When the stats in our neighborhoods depict something different. So let's see. AC is saying it's like they're cheering just for showing up because we expect black men not to be there subconsciously. like it or not, something that is normal. Yeah, and Lisa's saying we shouldn't throw a ticker tape parade for someone doing something that they should be doing to begin with. There's that. And Chantal is saying, I feel the video is what black fathers are supposed to do. We shouldn't settle for average or mediocre. This only makes some men feel like they don't have to strive to do better. Yes, Kita just arrived. Mind is saying the bar is so low. Javon is saying I'm late to the party. What are we talking about? We're talking about the video that I put up yesterday. I am receiving a lot of pushback. So I'm giving people the opportunity to come confront me live about their feelings about what it is that I was talking about in that video. I'm also inviting people to show me one, where was the lie and what it was. Listen, I am willing to alter my point of view. I'm willing to alter the way it is that I see this. If there's somebody who can help me see the error in my judgment, the flaw in my rationale, the fallaciousness of my premise, then I'd be more than happy to take a look at that and alter my point of view. So I feel like my head wrap needs a little bit of an indent right here. All right, there we go. All right. So Kiki is okay. So Shark is saying accepting breadcrumbs instead of higher value. Key is saying, what about the children, those little girls with memories of their fathers? So Key, if you saw my video, I said that the little girls were most likely having an amazing time. That to them, their fathers are the biggest, strongest men, or the men who showed up, because we don't know if those were their fathers. They're the biggest, strongest men in the world. They held them up higher than anybody could hold them. And they probably thought those men did so well on the stage. I acknowledge the little girls. And I'm happy that those little girls were able to experience that moment on the stage because, in the minds of children, children don't see, the children's perception of time is not the same as ours, and so I'm happy that those girls were able to experience that. So I'm not really sure where people, and I said that in the video. So Key, can you let me know, did you even watch my whole video? Because I mentioned that particular point exactly. Ms. Vina is saying, but people who do not experience the absence of fatherhood don't view it in this way. Who have not experienced the absence of fatherhood don't view it in this way. I don't understand that sentence. People who have not experienced the absence of fatherhood don't view it in this way. Don't view it in what way? And Chantal is saying, my father has always instilled in my life. I'm very blessed for that. I have friends who didn't have a father growing up, and they agree with what you said, Tonya. Okay, well, that's very interesting. Thank you for that feedback. Time is saying, we give them kudos for doing the bare minimum. That is not enough. Okay, and mind over matter. I read some of your other comments, and they were very inflammatory. Some of your other comments were really going in hard. I was like, oh wow. Even I had to clutch my pearls. I was like, ooh. I don't know. Cause you know what? I don't know. I don't know. Like some of the other stuff you were saying, I was like, ooh, okay. And not today is saying you held up a mirror to people. They didn't like their reflection and took it out on you. You did nothing wrong. Okay, I got you. Thank you. Let's see. This commentary is full of negative assumptions. So go ahead, tell me, help me understand, help me see help me see the flaw. Like I said, I'm willing to change my point of view. Help me see the flaw. It doesn't mean that they are either. Who did you talk to that was there? Who did you talk to that was there to confirm whatever it is that you're thinking, Miss Vina? So let's put the mirror back up on your sentence. And not today saying that was for their daughters, but as usual, the girls are overlooked because their fathers upstaged them, Lord. Do you feel that they were upstaged? And Kwan is saying you don't get praise for raising your own children. Are the children being raised? El Guapo said people are too sensitive in 2019. Unfortunately, the truth hurts. April is saying some celebrate it so that more men will do it in the future and it can become the norm for future generations of black children. But I did understand what you were saying. Okay, the norm of black men coming out to a performance or really standing up there in the community. One of the things that I commented after the fact was, Here we have this little girl on the stage, and because so how old do you think those girls were? About seven? About seven, right? So in about 4 years, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, when those little girls are 11, will they be free? Will they feel comfortable and safe walking down the streets in their own neighborhood to get home without being harassed by grown men at the age of 11? And then we add 4 years on that. At the age of 15 or 16, when they go to a party, a majority black party in an urban neighborhood, will those girls be safe there? When they go to hang out at a friend's house and it's a majority black people there in the urban neighborhood, young black males, will the girls be will she feel safe and comfortable? Will they be safe and comfortable? It's like there's a lot of questions because okay, so it's nice. Look, okay, come on stage. That's wonderful. I applaud that. I applaud that. But what do the neighborhoods look like outside of the stage? There are some people who brought up white men and whether or not I would make the same comments about white men. And I'm like, if you look at white neighborhoods in America, they're not plagued with the same issues that our neighborhoods are plagued with. I'm sorry if I can't read everybody's comment. I'm just going to skim from here because there's a lot coming in. Some celebrated. I understand what you thought. I fell asleep. I was dumb tired last night. Why use this video to make those points about issues in the community? Because, Ms. Vina, when I saw that video, that is what came into my heart. And I decided to make a video about what was on my heart. When I saw the video and I heard the preponderance of applause simply for them participating, it made these thoughts come to me. So, and Pretty is saying in the now viral video age, I feel the men were added/used for hype. They knew that this type of OMG performance would spread like wildfire. Yes. Key is saying anyone upset an opinion. Jazzy is wrong. Jazzy saying it was still a cute video. I get it, can be seen. Marsha saying right, when you pull up the stats, they tell a completely different story. Key is saying good question. Miss Vina. Dr. Andrea is saying when someone from another country asks about the absence of black fathers, how do you answer that, Tonya? No one has asked me from another country about the absence of black fathers. Ariel is saying some of them may not have been fathers. My husband was accompanied his daughter to a father-daughter events. Okay. Although I did not agree with your point of view, I don't think you were wrong because it was your opinion. Okay. All right, let me scroll all the way down because more and more comments are coming in. It's great to see a different narrative regardless of the circumstances. It sucks that once the norm is now celebrated, but now the world that we live in, I choose to clap in hopes that it will encourage future generations. However, let it be life every day. Good day, a father and a family is very vital in the family. A girl really need that father as an example. Yes, a girl really does need you know, and I'll say this because I think a lot of us discount even just having a quote unquote father. What is the caliber of that man? And what is the caliber of his participation in that girl's household? Just having a penis and being around is not enough. It's not enough. Who is that man? How is he showing up in that household? What is his participation? And on a consistent basis. There's a lot to it. Just having any old human being with a penis around your daughter is not enough. And Not Today is saying, my husband took our daughters to daddy-daughter dances. Frequently, he showed up in a suit and escorted her. I spent so much money on her dresses and hair. I don't applaud him, and he didn't applaud. That is so funny. You spent so much money on her dresses and hair. So those are some good questions. Those are some good questions. I took it as father-daughter dance. You know what? If it was a dance, that would be one thing. If they were in a room, but on the stage performing like that, it was just bizarre to me. It was bizarre. And Shauna is saying, I think most of the viewers may disagree. I think it was a stretch making a whole commentary based on a video snippet. Okay. And so, okay. All right. And pancakes and wine is back. She says it's interesting how quick black folks are to praise men, though, yet many of these same people tear down BW. And this is true. And Key is saying the absence of black fathers is due to the absence of black fathers. I think it's generational and black mothers aren't equipped to fill that void. Okay. And Lily saying, yes, it's a cute video, but they could be every other weekend Instagram dads, but we don't know enough. Yeah. And somebody saying, Patina, sorry to hear. Fashitor is saying, as I said, I had the same perception as you. I also feel they disrespected the art of ballet by them. You're so silly. Now you going into it. Now they disrespected ballet. Mine just saying, I stand by my opinions I said in the live yesterday. Let everyone have their opinion. Just because people are up in their feelings, that is their problem. Nobody had an issue in the live. You're so funny. So somebody's saying Patina had something that. So let me scroll up and see if I can see Patina's comment. I don't see it. All right. So there we have it. And King Petty saying, Tony is so beautiful. Keep up the good work. I suppose you talking about me, so thank you. Patina saying, my dad nor mom was there. And still to this day, they still say they did their best. You know, just be. And believe it or not, they most likely did do their best with what it is that they had available to them, both inside and out. Most likely they did do their best. We're all doing our best. All of us are doing our best. So, all right. So Oshun is saying that I see where you are coming from. So you have an issue with it coming off as a performative propaganda. Yes, I have an issue with that. I do. I have an issue with the fact that it was on stage, that the men were performing at what looked like a little girl's what do you call those things? It starts with an R, recital. At a little girl's recital, the men were on stage and received such uproarious applause just for merely existing. I have an issue with that. If they were in a dance situation and the fathers were on the dance floor dancing with the daughters, that I would be like, oh, I wouldn't have even made a video. The fact that they were on stage and the crowd erupted into such it was like applause at what they saw as rare, incredulous, abnormal, I don't know. When they erupted into this cheer and applause, I mean, it was nice that they were there. It's sad that it's so abnormal that it would receive such hoopla. That's my thing. That's my thing. I think that's sad. Is it your point that the fathers were overshadowing the kids, male centered versus the kids having their time? You know, there was a component of that. So Pancakes asked that. I don't feel like the fathers overshadowed, because that was just a small snippet of everything, right? I feel like them being on stage was weird to me. It was just weird. Them being on stage at the performance, being untrained with some dance moves that look like they may have learned just moments before, if it seemed like a choreographed dance, inclusive of the fathers and the daughters, well executed, that showed black excellence, I'd be like, oh, look at this. I'd be clutching my pearls, snapping my hands, and clapping too. But it looked very juvenile. It looked very childlike. It looked like moves that 7-year-olds do at school plays. And it looked like something they learned backstage. And that I felt like we were infantilizing those grown men by giving the applause that we reserve for children doing just attempting anything, using that applause to give to grown men for some moves that look like they learned right before the curtains came up. I just, and not to, not, and so Miss Vina is saying it was cute and organic. To you, yes, and you're entitled to feel that it was cute and organic. I don't feel that it was organic. Organic means something that is naturally arisen. That wasn't naturally arisen. There was somebody who thought, okay, we know that there's this perception of black men. So let us do this and then give the black men an opportunity for the daughters to be off of the stage, for these black men to then do their childlike moves and then receive these accolades. So no, you're welcome to think it was cute. I didn't think it was cute. And so PN is saying, I bet the daughters loved it. Yes, of course. I think the daughters loved it as well, as they should. This is not a conversation for children. I would not have this. My audience is not children. My audience, the average age of a woman who watches my videos is 30 years old, 30, 35 years old. So my female audience ranges between 25 and 45. So in the middle of that, we have 35. So I'm not talking to children. I'm talking to adults, you know? So if you want to come to me speaking from an adult point of view about what it is that you have to say, then please speak from an adult point of view. Let's talk as adults. You know what I mean? Hey, everyone. And Jazzy J is saying, just let it go. How about you go let yourself go off of my broadcast? I don't really know what it is that you're getting at. I'm giving people the opportunity to talk with me live. If your ASS doesn't want to be here, you don't have to be here. This is my channel. I have to be on my channel. So I don't know what you're talking about. So you go bounce someplace else. And Power of Affirmation saying this situation is actually a gift to you, Tonya. And Mind Over Matter saying, who knows, some of those men may have actually been uncles, family members. They're not even the dads. I can imagine that there are many men on that stage who were acting in the capacity of many different roles in children's lives. Listen, I'm happy that they were there. And then so Miss Vina, and I'm so glad that you're here because what you're saying is a reflection of your low esteem and morale for black men. So that your alternative to what it is that we saw displayed is, but if no one was there. So the alternative to being a consistent, to talking about being a consistent, viable role and role model in a child's life, an upstanding contribution is for no one to be there. So this is my thing. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. So if those men have to wait for my approval as a stranger on the outside so that they say, well, Tonya didn't applaud for me, so now I ain't going, then they didn't need to be there in the first place. It's like, with or without accolade, are you still willing to do those things? And if you're waiting for a stranger's approval, if you're waiting for my approval to be like, good job, big boy, then what is your real motivation for doing it? If those men need accolade from strange women or anybody, then what is their true motivation for showing up and being there? Are they still willing to show up and be there even without the applause, even without the good job, big boy? So here we go. So Pancakes is saying this is a bigger conversation in a community are ultimately responsible for that community. Men are the leaders. And Shark is saying do it without any credit. And Keita saying, Miss Vina, I have a problem with black men dancing around like this. Why their masculinity? They can escort them to the stage, raise them high, and then back off the stage. There were some people who had some problems. They thought that what the men were doing was effeminate. Did you all think that what they were doing was effeminate? I didn't see it as I didn't really have an opinion about whether their moves were feminine or masculine. So silly. let me take a survey. If you thought their moves was feminine or effeminate or feminizing, put up a 1. If you thought that the moves were masculine, put up a 3. If you're neutral, just put up a 2. So 1 feminine, 3 masculine, 2 for neutral. So I wanna hear your point of view on that. Was it feminine? Was it neutral? Really? They're so okay. Oh wow, how interesting. Pancakes is saying -10. That's not even the number. This is so interesting. And Lalip is saying, I hated that video. It's like these black men need to be coddled or applauded just for being a father. And Bree is saying, too, a little of both. Really? And 123 is sneaking at work watching the video. And Monique is saying, I need some of that vitamin E. You know what? I'm going to put it on sale soon. And Missy said they look like a bunch of football players being taught a ballet lesson. This is so interesting. So a great number of you thought that the moves were feminine. That is so interesting. I was not expecting that. So AC did feel that it was childlike. Yeah. That is so very, very interesting. You know that there are heterosexual ballet dancers, right? You know there are heterosexual ballet dancers. Not every ballet dancing male is gay. It did look uncoordinated, Ms. Molly. And so God word is saying important is being there for the children. Yes, of course. No, 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 no. You know what? No. No. And Gina's saying, I get vitamin E from Family Dollar for $2. You don't get real vitamin E. You see this right here? Amber in color. That is natural and plant derived. This is alive. And this is how it helps your skin heal and stay buoyant and vibrant. You can't get real vitamin E for $2. And you can't get it from a dollar store. Because it's alive, it has a life cycle. So, Okay. And so Bree is saying black men do need to be applauded because they hardly are. All we hear about in the black community is the lack of fathers or the ain't shit baby daddy. And so that actually that supports my sentiment. It's not even watered down as it is. Well, it is diluted with other oils, but it's not even real. It's synthetic. Okay. So, good morning, everyone. Hello, everybody. So, hello, Black Nubian. And Kiki is saying mothers don't deserve an applaud for being mothers either, but we see that every day and they mistreat their kids as well. I don't even understand how that relates to the conversation we're in. And Shauna, no, they were applauding for more than just it being a performance. So Shauna is saying, I think they were applauding because it was a performance, nothing more than that. No, because when the men decided to do their little childlike moves, they and you know what? That's so interesting. Because when I did this, it reminded me of like the step shows that I used to go to in college. So yeah, so black men are capable of doing complex dance moves. I don't know if my issue was the incomplexity of the dance moves or the incomplexity of it accompanied with the raise in applause like, "Oh, wow, look at big boy." Oh, goodness. Very interesting. And so Pancakes is saying we need to discuss how so I was responding to somebody who was saying the important thing is that they were there. I don't think that the important thing is that they were on a stage. I don't know I don't know how many. See, the thing is, and this is where it becomes microcostic, where we're like, oh, the important things is that they're on a stage. When my point of view is no, the important thing is that they're doing, like, I would prefer that there would be no black men ever on a stage ever if the black communities were safe for children to walk down, both male and female, were safe for young ladies to navigate through, both in and out of their homes, safe for young men to navigate through. I would prefer if there were no man ever on a stage. I think that the important part is really creating a culture and a community of participation that lets children, women, children, and other males be safe. That's what I think is important to me. But we all have different standards. We all have different standards. All right. Okay. Okay. So somebody's saying what's important is that they took time out and practiced those dance moves. Okay. And McDorable is saying what was displayed on that stage does not translate into real life in the black community. That's one of my comments as well. And Boss is saying, so why is it assumed that the men are expecting applause for dancing with their daughters? Why can't we assume for a second that they were just supporting them? I don't I don't know where I don't know if I don't know if I expressed that the men were expecting applause. I don't know if I expressed that. So if I did, I that wasn't what I was trying to come across with, that they were expecting applause. And so God is saying the men in the black community are messed up because many are raised by single moms. So on the flip side of that sentence, what you're saying is, Tonya, the men in the black community are messed up because many were abandoned by their fathers, and their courageous mothers did the best that they could in attempting to raise them to the best of their ability. That's what I'm hearing you say. That's what that sentence sounds like to me. And T. Will is saying, you have no children or husband, thus your lack of understanding. This is obvious. Okay. All right. And so T. Will got to say what it is that she needed to say about that. And she is now, see, that right there is a logical fallacy. T. Will, I would love it if you can point to where and where's the lie in anything that I stated. I'm glad that I did this video so that you can come out and say whatever it is that you feel that you need to say. And the fact that you're so amped up, I think speaks volumes. So which part of the video? So the logical fallacy is, instead of attacking the argument or presenting an argument of your own, that you would then try to switch the focus to the person who is speaking and create personal attacks. You don't know what I have behind the scenes. So let's stick to the topic at hand. Tell me where was the lie in what it is that I said, and tell me what is the truth. Like I said, I'm willing to alter my point of view. Tell me where was the truth. Cheryl, shout out to you too. And Leela is saying these are silencing tactics on the lowbrow. Yeah, precisely. Hey, Kiana. Kiana just made it in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Lisa's saying things like that are usually done just as comedy, that the men aren't too macho to make fools of themselves. Well, that's cool. And so, so it's Pancakes Day in the UK, and she's thinking about having some with wine. Okay, well, you go get some then. And so Darian is saying, like, honestly, guys, this is really not okay. It was a sweet moment between daddy and daughter, establishing support and trust, starting as a pattern here, guys. Most of my viewers are women. I don't know why you're referring to guys. I don't see how that relates to our conversation. Are you talking about the guys on the stage? I'm not a guy. I don't know what you're talking about. You have to, please come back again. Sharon is saying we are just seeing one snapshot in a day of the lives of these people. That wasn't a day in a life. It was a few seconds on stage. We don't know what the rest of the life is looking like. And that's my whole point. The stats about the black community speaks about what is happening on the day to day. The stats in the black community, the stats in the Census Bureau, the stats in the crime data show what is happening on the day to day on average in the black communities across the United States. So talk to me about that. Come to me with some real figures. Tell me how, so come to me with something real. All right? And Sharon is saying the same reactions happen no matter what race. You know what? Somebody said that they were going to send me a video of men of other races doing the same thing and receiving this vociferous applause for entering into some sort of boy-like moves, childlike moves on the stage. I want to see those videos. I have to go click on some links because there were two people who put up some links, but I haven't had a chance to click on them. And Mizzy is saying so many people are looking at this video with their own filter. That's the only filter that people can really, most people will really look at through their own filter. And Duanda is saying T will, so having kids make you a mom, having a husband makes you a wife. S the age up. You sound stupid. You know? And Gina's saying, I can't stop looking at your smooth, beautiful skin after learning of pure vitamin E. Can you put it up for? Yes, absolutely. Make sure you're on my mailing list. I'm going to put it up for sale soon. And Leela's saying, black men refuse to raise boys and talk critically and cruelly about black motherhood, maidenhood, cronehood. I don't even know what cronehood is. And Lily's saying maybe that's why someone does not have husband or kids in the black community. Pancakes is saying abandoned by dad versus single moms. Powerful comment. Shifts the responsibility to the missing parent. You know, there's so much going on out here. And Lisa is saying you don't need a spouse or children to be observant. And so here we go. So is there anybody else who has anything else to say? I so did everybody get to say did anybody, so Phoebe, so you sent me 5 videos. Okay, cool. So where did you send those at? Did you put them on the in the comments of the other video? I'm gonna go check that out because I want to see this. Maybe it's just something that I'm just not accustomed to seeing men on the stage participating in these childlike moves, receiving vociferous applause for not being incarcerated or not being absent on the day of. So I would love to see that. And so Jacob is saying, why not just do a video suggesting ways to accomplish the things you feel are lacking in black men or the black community as a whole? What makes you think I haven't done videos about that? I've done videos about group economics. Let me ask you all these questions. Let me ask you all these questions, right? How do I word this question? Let's do a would you rather. Let's do a vote. Would you rather? Would you rather? Would you rather see black men twirling on a stage for a few seconds or have group economics and children be safe in it, women and children and boys be safe, and even other men, adolescents, black neighborhoods be safe? Which would you rather? Put up one for if you would rather have black men twirling on stage for a few seconds, or two, safe neighborhoods and group economics. And then so here we go. And T Will says Phoebe, she's dodging the other videos. Um, let's see. It's 10 o'clock in the morning here. We've been on here for almost an hour. I came on here first thing in the morning after getting my stuff together. If I was dodging the videos, I wouldn't be, people like this annoy me. People like that annoy me. Here we go. I'm just gonna bounce this person out the room real quick because I don't. I ask a person a question, they don't come back with a question, but they come back with some malarkey. I want to hear an answer from this person. So here we go. The topic is complex. Miss Molly sent me two video links. Okay, perfect. So I'll comb through the comments for that. So McDurable is saying, if a black man left me to raise a child alone, I would put the child up for adoption to a loving family. I wouldn't be stuck struggling. It's not fair for the child. How many children are already in the system looking for a loving family to take them? How many? Talk to me about that. And Kelly is saying, I want to see the video of other races too. And Shelly is saying, I believe that's why you need to choose your father of your child wisely. And Leela is saying it's so complex that it's weird to insist that her perspective isn't valid. It's very interesting. And Pancakes is saying the next convo is when someone will put these brothers in a tutu on stage. Pancakes, you're gonna go into timeout. Hush your mouth. You're so silly. Not a real timeout, a figurative one. And Comic is saying, if my father was around today and he saw your video featuring the father-daughter clip, he'd roast it right along with you. What do you think your father would say? And I hope people didn't feel I was roasting it, because I can't think that did I really roasted anyone. And so God's warrior is saying a healthy society is founded upon healthy families. Fixing the families would make many problems with the black community go away. Ms. Vina, instead of voting, she just put up both. That's a throwaway answer. Fast teacher is saying two. Sheena also threw away her answer. Shelly is saying that she would rather see them on stage than have healthy families. Okay. I mean, than have safe neighborhoods. Okay. So most people put up two. Okay, most people put up two. All right. And so Chantal is saying, my dad would never dance on a stage. Daddy daughter dance, yes. And so you know what? So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna look. Let me look for one of these videos now. So somebody said they sent the video. I'm gonna look for one of them because I want to see this. Who was the person that said, who said they sent me 5 videos? Because I want to search for your name. And so Boss is saying my dad didn't show up to anything. So that's part of her perspective because her father didn't show up for her. And God is saying you can't have safe neighborhoods if you're raised in dysfunction. Who said that they sent me 5 videos? I want to take a look at it. Let's take a look at it now. Let's see. I'm going to go into, and then we're going to get out of here. I gave you all an opportunity to come forward. So I hope that everybody had a chance to say everything that they needed to say, including the person who got booted out. Some people are just so silly. And okay, say my dad came to see my game once. It was so embarrassing. Well, I'm sorry that that was embarrassing. All right. So who's the person that said they sent me 5 videos? I want to see the videos. We're going to watch them right now. All right. Where's the videos? Okay. And Key is saying, in my life, my mother was the problem. My father was the savior. And you know what? And okay, I'm sorry that your father was not there for your game, so that would have been something that wasn't embarrassing. And what was it that was embarrassing to you about it? Who's the person who said they sent the videos? Because I'm looking for them right now. And so Ross is saying everything black men do is seen as negative now. Can you, and you see it's histriotic dramatics like that just lose me. I when people start saying stuff like everything black men do is seen as negative now, I don't have, it doesn't elicit a respect response from me, because there's a lot of victim energy there speaking in absolutes, and that doesn't resonate with me. It actually repulses me. Okay, so let's see. I'm looking for the links to the videos. I don't see, I'm scrolling through, I don't see links. Can somebody, who's the person that said that they put up 5 of them? All right, so here, so I think, okay. All right, so here we go. So Tonya, here is one that I found. So here, let me, I'm going to put up the video. All right, so yeah, so Phoebe, here she is. I'll put up the video right here. So let's click on it. Let me open this in a new tab. Actually, I'll open it in a new window. And let's take a look and see. So let's see what this is. What are we looking at? What is this? What are we looking at right now? Hold on, let me make this bigger. All right. Here we go. So we're watching. You ready? Okay. Come on. They are cute. Okay, how much more of this? Where are the men at? Okay, so here we go. So here we go. Here we go. Okay, here come the men. Here come the men on stage. So let's take a look. Let's see. All right, so the men are coming on the stage. Let's see. Oh, look at this. I can't see. Can you all see it? Okay, I'm waiting for the dads to do their childlike moves. I'm waiting for that. That's what I'm waiting for, but I don't see. I see. I see fathers. Can you show me where the men's childlike moves are? Is anybody seeing that? So I think that it just goes on like that. And so, okay. Who has an issue, and tell me where I said that I had an issue with the, let me just scroll through and see. So this is also basically the men come up, they hug the daughters, and they leave the damn stage. And then somebody is saying you want confrontation, but you are not engaging. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm here. I've been here for 54 minutes. And we got 6 more minutes left on the broadcast to make it under an hour. Okay, so I'm looking, where were the men's childlike moves where they, and then also, see? And then hooting and hollering. Leela didn't see any hooting and hollering. I'm gonna click on another one of the videos. She says this is another. And this is 54 seconds, she says. Okay, so here, let's see. So this is 54 seconds. Let's turn off the light. This is so cute. I'm sorry. This is so cute. Here, hold on. Let me press play for you. Okay. So now I love this. The focus and the emphasis is on the participation of the daughters with the fathers. And where is the, I'm looking to see, and look, it's so cute. It's so nice. I'm looking to see where the fathers had some sort of dance routine where people were hooping and hollering for these fathers. Let me take this part off. So where do we see that, or we just see, I'm so confused. And so that's how it just basically goes on. All right. So I'm really confused. I'm not seeing, so Phoebe, I'm not seeing what it is that you're saying. I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing the need for turning this into, oh, I'm not seeing the need for turning this into some sort of performance for the fathers to receive applause on the stage for some. My touch screen is now acting crazy. Oh, I don't have I took out my thing. So, okay, so Phoebe, if that's what it is that you're showing me, that actually proves my point. And was it such a rare occurrence that there was an explode of applause and that the fathers needed their own time to be showcased on the stage with their moves? I need help understanding that. I need help. Did anybody else see any fathers participating in, did anybody else, and to the person who said that I was not engaging them, you have to comment when I'm reading the screen. As a matter of fact, I spent so much time reading the screen that most of the videos of me reading the screen. So here we go. We're gonna, so she sent me another, you want to take a look at this other one? Let's take a look and see.
Imagine you're a little girl and you asked your dad to take part in a lip sync battle where he had to dress in a leotard and perform like Beyonce.
Most men might be mortified, but not this father. Y'all take a look.
So here, hold on, let me pause.
But not this father. Y'all take a look.
Hold on. So here, so this is another one she sent me. You all want to see this? Hold on, look at this. All right, so can we see this? Hold on, let me press play. Y'all think this is funny? Y'all think this is funny?
Not surprisingly, that video went viral with more than 30 million.
Y'all think that's funny? Y'all think that's cute? I think that wife needs to have a conversation with her husband and see what was really going on with him underneath. And then also, is this the same thing? Is this receiving applause for being a father, for showing up, for not being incarcerated at the moment? Let me go back. She said that she sent me 5, so we took a look at 4 so far. So let's take a look at the last one. And here's the last one she said she sent me. Yeah, I didn't think that was cute either, honestly. I think that that's worrisome. A man dressing up in a leotard with his... Let's see. I think this is the same one. This is the rehearsal from that thing. All right. This is just a rehearsal of the same type of thing. All right. So here they're dancing. And I'm not seeing childlike moves. I'm seeing participation with the daughters and looking like grown men. Wait, who's going on? Wait, who's blocking who in here? What's happening? All right. Oh, you know what? Let's hold on. You know what? These men are doing a little bit more dancing. So hold on. So let's take another look. So what is? Oh, wait, somebody God saves is getting blocked by people. Oh gracious. Okay, so the men are doing some sort of dances, and they. All right, so this is a rehearsal. Can you all see it? This is a rehearsal of an entire ensemble with choreograph that looks like the men invested in learning. All right. I'm not seeing. And you know what? And I actually think that that's beautiful. I think that this is beautiful. I think it's beautiful. I thought that that was beautiful. And so she, Black Beauty, we have to watch what it is that we're saying. You're categorizing all people and speaking disparagingly of entire groups of people. And so Robert is saying, who said the applause was for the father showing up? Um, if you want an answer to that question, if you want an answer to that question, it's evident in one, the vociferousness of the applause in comparison to what it is that they were displaying. They did not that wasn't they didn't display black excellence, and they didn't display a rehearsed routine that was in line with the type of applause that was given for that childlike display that they put up there. And so Comic is saying, I'm sorry, but all of these videos are corny to me because it forced a culture of applauding men for spending time with their daughters. I actually, and then somebody, I take no issue. I take no issue with men. I take no issue with people on stage in a performance receiving applause. I take no issue with that. Um, the daughters leaving the stage so that the fathers can do some ill-rehearsed happenstance revival. I don't know. And so McDorable is doing personal attacks. If we could not attack one another, that would be great. And Adrian is saying, stay unapologetically, Tonya. I love your videos. I love you too. And God's word is saying, again, you're trying to throw out some personal attacks. Regardless, the black community will always suffer as long as there's a significant number of dysfunctional families. I agree with that statement. Yeah, but you know what, she, Black Beauty, calling black men devil spawn, especially when it's debatable about whether or not any child that you give birth to will be quote unquote black. So you have to take a look at how it is that you truly feel about black men inside of your heart, because if you hope to have children, your children will come through the loins of a black woman. And your child, if your child is male, will be an Afro whatever child. So, and Miss Legs is saying, I'm leaving because you all acting childish. These people don't know you, and you letting this person get to you. And so Miss Molly is saying that was just poor choreography. I wouldn't read any more into it than that. Okay. Well, you know what? And I'm glad that you said that. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that real quick. So it was poor choreography. You as an adult, would you allow yourself to go out onto stage as an adult participating in ill practice, poor choreography? Would you just go out just doing whatever, just looking however? Or would you take pride in what it is that you're doing? I don't know. And then the amount of applause that was given for the bare minimum effort that I saw on that stage, I thought was strange. And Mizzy is saying, hell no, but I'm a perfectionist. Okay. Listen, you know what? And I'll say this because remember when I did this, I was like, that reminded me of whatchamacallit, of the step shows. So black males are capable of participating in some very complex choreography and executing it with precision and with excellence, right? However, what I saw in that video was not excellence. And top model is saying men need to be held accountable to do better. They won't do it themselves. And God word is saying, and women need to choose better men. Yes, I agree with that sentiment. I believe that the vast majority of men need to be cut out of the reproductive pool. Vast majority of them need to be cut out of the reproductive pool. So, and so Ms. Molly say maybe the dance instructor should be to blame, not the dads. Okay. Well, you know what? Listen. So I will say this, right? So I will say this. Okay. So you have a performance with your child coming up, right? How much time do you invest in making sure that that performance is an amazing experience? How much time do you invest in making sure that you all are moving in a coordinated way? How much time to the boys who come out for their step shows? How much time do they? Let me tell you something. I went to a black college. I went to an HBCU. I went to an HBCU. And when I tell you that I've seen some choreography, when I tell you I've seen some complex moves that were orchestrated in unison, if you want to talk about being able to move as a unit, I've seen black men participate in choreography well executed that would make you just that would just make your heart just stop beating for a moment. Somebody said that the 30 minutes before the performance, that's what it looked like. And so Shauna is saying, can you watch the last video? They had a solo part and the applause were louder to see fuller comparison. Okay, so the last video that we were watching with the all right. Oh Lord, you know what? I think you're right. Hold on. Hold on. You guys ready to see the ending of this video? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let me make this bigger. All right, are you ready? All right, can you all see? So now the men are going to have a solo. Oh, Lord, they said the full Monty. Oh, Lord, this does look inappropriate, but let's go. Oh, Lord, not this. Y'all think this is appropriate? Hold on. Bizarre. What is this mess? What is this? Oh, gracious. Who was the person? Thank you for suggesting that we watch the end of that mess. Lord have mercy. What was that? All right, so what are your thoughts about that, people? What are your thoughts about their ensemble at the end? This is just pure foolishness. They look so silly. You know what? So what are you, so people, so listen. So did you see it, or you couldn't see it? Okay. So yeah, so first, you know what? I can only speak from my own personal point of view. From what it is that I saw there, their moves didn't look like something that you would see from a 7-year old. So like, okay, so the music got hyped, so people got hyped up and they started clapping and the dads were doing their choreography. As silly as it was still adult in nature. I mean, some of the parts I thought was inappropriate, right? But it was still a performance that you can say, "Oh, okay, this is something that is not specifically relegated to something only a child can do." You know what I mean? When I saw that, it looked like, okay, I mean, I thought it was foolishness, but it didn't look like childlike foolishness. It didn't look like childlike foolishness. It didn't look like literally moving your arm this way, moving your arm that way, twirl, 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 and then kneel down. And then receiving, oh yay, Hercules! Oh, look at you did that. I mean, it just shows like it just shows that. Wait, so some of you didn't see it? I don't know so wait, were you able to see the clip that I just played? Let me know. So Miss Britt is saying, so we're upset about the choreography. No, I'm not upset about the choreography. I'm saddened by no, I don't want to see them holding their crotches and shake. Not at all. I didn't want to see them doing that. I'm saddened by the childlikeness of the black men's moves in comparison to the amount of applause that they were given, as if what it is that they were doing was so extraordinary. So I guess that's what it boils down to. It boils down to the childlikeness of the moves in comparison to people being like, wow, look at how you did that. When they really did not really do that. No. So it seemed like with the black men that the bulk of the applause was just for them showing up. Just for them showing up. And so Nia is saying, so you're mad at the crowd. You know, I'm not mad at anyone. I'm not mad at the men. I'm not mad at the crowd. I'm saddened. I'm saddened that these black men were infantilized in the ways that they were infantilized on that stage. That they were given some moves that 7-year-olds could have done, and that in response, because it's a lot larger. You know, but when we talk about arbitals on my channel, we talk about reading between the lines. And if we read between the lines at one, those infantile moves that they were given, to the infantilization of them in response to how the profuseness of the applause in comparison. Now let me tell you something. If those if those men really, I put up the video yesterday. I'll show you. For those who, you know what? As a matter of fact, let's watch my video real quick. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it real quick. I'll play it because there's somebody here who says that she hasn't seen the video. So let's look at it real quick, right? If you all have seen, right, if anybody here has ever been to a performance put on by black men, you know that they are capable of some very complex moves. But instead of black excellence, so here we go. I need you to let me know whether or not you can see the screen. Can you see the screen? Because I have privacy protector on my screen, so sometimes at certain angles you can't see it. Put up a 1 if you can see the screen, people. Can you see the screen? So Miss Britt is saying, no, you can't. Put up a 1 so you can see. How about if I hold it up here? Can you see? Okay, so you can see the screen now. Where's the play button? All right, so here we go. So the fathers are holding the daughters up and twirling them around, and they put the daughters down, tilt it back like this. How about like this? Can you see it this way? And then they're like, oh, so now the men are on the stage. And so now they're all, look, they're so happy. Cause look at what they're doing. They turn in a circle. Look, they turn 1, 2, 3 in a circle and put arm up and step back. And now pull it up. And then the girls come back up. I'm sorry. You all listen. It's my video. If you want to go see it, it's on my channel. So, okay. So that person was saying, oh, okay. But then the loud, gigantic applause for these, okay, Shelly, you don't have to see the problem. There are many people like you there are many people who don't see the problem. There are many people who don't see the problem. And I'm not saying, you know something, now Top Model is attacking them, saying they look like a bunch of buffoons. I'm not. Camila is saying, I get your point though. And Demarie is saying, okay, I'll be right back. All right. You know something? All right. I've talked about it till I'm blue in the face. I'm blue in the face. That's cool. Look. Top Model, I'm not even gonna read what you just wrote. I'm gonna let that scroll by. And God is saying, whose fault is it that there are so many dysfunctional families in the black community? So you want to point fingers at whose fault it is? If men are considered leaders, right? So let's talk about it. You want to talk about it, God saves? If men are considered leaders, if you are a leader, then whose fault is it that the people that then whose fault is it? Whose fault is it if your neighborhood is in shambles? If the families are in shambles? If you're a leader, then whose fault is that? Who holds the bulk of the responsibility for when a corporation is not functioning? The CEO of the corporation, or the people who are operating underneath the direction of the CEO? Who is culpable for a non-functioning unit? The person who is the leader of that unit, or the person who is under the guidance of that leader? You know what I'm saying? So when we start talking about the black community being in shambles, listen, boy, if you're waiting for women to be your leaders and then turn around and be like, oh, that's why the community is messed up, then are you the leader? I'm confused. What's really going on? What's really going on? And so Nia's saying, how do we know the state of the communities where these men live? If you look at the stats of the majority of black communities in this country across the board, that speaks volumes right there. And God is saying, but the black community is already a matriarchy. No, the black community is not a matriarchy because we still live in a patriarchy, and we live in a patriarchy underneath toxic masculinity. We do. And if you have a hard time understanding that, then your perspective is off. Your perspective is off. And you see, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. On the same hand, you can't say that you're a leader and then blame black women for where it is that you are. Are you a leader? God's word. Are you a leader? Are you a leader? Are you a leader? Answer the question, God. Are you a leader? Are you a leader? Are you a follower? I want to know what it is that you are. If we were in a matriarchy, the society would look very different. The society would look very different. All right. So there we go. And God, I've already defined toxic masculinity in the past. I'll go ahead and I'll define it for you again right now. There's let's say right here, right? So we have masculinity and we have femininity. And they meet in the middle right here. There's an overlap of masculinity and femininity. At the fringe edges, fringe edges of masculinity is where it becomes toxic, where it's not functional, where it is hyper masculine, where it is predatory, where it is aggressive, where it is violent. And then there's an overlap where femininity is here, and then we have, oh, my battery's dying. Hold on. Let me plug up. Hold on, I gotta unplug and then plug back in again. All right, I think it's plugged. All right, yeah. And then we have femininity. So in a perfect world, people exhibit a balance of masculine and feminine. There's going to be in men and people who are socialized as men, there's going to be more traits that are attributed to the masculine in men, and in women there are going to be more traits attributed to the feminine. On the fringe end of femininity is disempowerment, there's blame, there's lack of being able to make decisions, there's what do you call this, wallowing in inactivity. So that's the fringe end of the toxic feminine. And there's overlap, and it goes all the way over. There's like a bell curve, and there's overlap that goes all the way over, so that there are women who also express traits of the toxic masculine, and there are men who express traits of the toxic feminine, the disempowerment. Like you're standing here placing blame and being really low vibrational. You're operating in a toxic feminine energy. You're operating in that blame energy where you're not taking responsibility for how it is that you choose to show up in this world. So there's that. So yeah, so I hope that that explained for you. And so Shark is saying, "What are you talking about?" But I think they're talking to someone in the audience. And so God, I asked you a question. You keep asking questions, but you're not answering mine. I asked whether or not you consider yourself a leader. Before you ask me any more questions, I need you to answer my question. So let's go forward in the comments. And so Nia is saying, okay, so we're talking about toxic masculinity. Now can we agree that this video did not display that? Are you having a different conversation with somebody else? Did you hear me call forward for the video to display? See, I need us to be adults, and I need us to be able to follow train of thought. That's what I need. I need us to be able to have an adult conversation. I need us to be able to have an adult conversation from people who are able to rationalize and use their critical thinking. Okay. So it's like we're so dysfunctional in our community. We're so dysfunctional that instead of listening to the argument that is being presented, you know what? I'm gonna do a we're gonna do a critical thinking. We're gonna do what's that? You know when when we used to have those language arts tests back in the days, right? I'm going to ask a question of this person who seems like she's having a hard time being able to follow rational adult thought. Let's see. Where is she at? All right. So her name is Nia Sweetheart. So Nia, what is the argument that Tonya presented about the video? What was the issue? We've been talking for 90 minutes almost. Nia, what is the argument that Tonya presented as the reason why she saw issue with what was displayed in that video? Did Tonya say that she had an issue that they were not displaying toxic masculinity? And Camille is saying we should not call people slow because they feel different. No, I'm not calling anyone slow because they feel different. I'm calling people who, after 90 minutes, are not able to follow rational thought, having an incapacity to be able to participate in this adult conversation. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that she's slow. I'm saying that if and listen, we all do learn at different speeds. That's why I'm asking the question. What was it that I presented as the issue that I took with that video? Now she's not answering. And Ms. Vina is saying maybe she hasn't been here for 90 minutes. Okay. So then if a person comes into a video, now Ms. Vina, I know you've been here for almost 90 minutes. If a person comes into a video that has been in progress for almost an hour and a half, why come to the forefront and start having a very vociferous argument? That's ignorant. Why are you going to have an argument about content that you have not seen? What sense does that make? Let's use our inductive reasoning. If you have not been a part of a conversation for the bulk that the conversation has been going on, why come to the forefront and put yourself on the front line in an argument? Why? Fall back. Fall back. Fall back. It's not that you're, no, Nia, it's not that you're disagreeing. Is that you're coming to the forefront and you're not, it doesn't seem like you're able to follow and grasp the concepts that we've been talking about. And if you haven't been here for the bulk of the conversation, then this is an opportunity for you to fall to the back and maybe watch the video later. Or come up with some surface conversation. But rather than trying to come to the forefront, exactly, seeking attention. And attention for what? So now you got my attention. How does it feel to have my attention in this context? You wanted my attention. You've got it. How does this feel? So it's like, this is what I'm saying. I need people to be adults. If we're going to have an adult conversation, come in here and act like an adult. And this is part of the reason that I took issue with that video, is because we're infantilizing these men coming up there with some two-step that a 7-year-old, that they felt that these men had barely the capacity to be able to perform the moves that a 7-year-old could perform, and then give them the preponderance of applause in response to that mediocre minimum effort, just by them just being there and showing up, no matter how it is that they showed up on that stage, prepared or unprepared, rehearsed or unrehearsed, that all they had to do was just show up, somebody tell them what it is that they need to do behind the stage, and then they come out into the front of the stage and all they do is just put up one arm, put down one arm, twirl around, and then they get all of this applause for the mediocre effort. That's it. That's it. That's it. And what I'm saying is, it's like, and you know what? And Nia's saying, no problem. I'll fall back. Yes, that's exactly what you should do. Or what you could do. Because I don't like to tell people what they should do. That's exactly what you could do. That's exactly what you could do. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to stand up and say, look at me. I'm going to argue this point and not be privy. Not be privy. It doesn't make any sense. And so God is saying children raised in single parent homes almost always do worse than children raised by both parents. And yes, this is a true statement. But part of where your rationale begins to unravel is when you give the person who left participating in their child's life on the regular, who left, and condemn the person who stayed. You and condemn the person who stayed. So it's like, how can anyone, if they're, listen, fathers out there, and you know what? And part of the reason that I have this rationale is because I know that black men can do better than what it is that is being shown right now. I know that they can do better. I know that they can do better. Because there was I had an associate, I had a friend. This person was a friend of mine. He gave his woman gave birth to a child. After the child was born, she flipped the script on him. She tried to take him to court. She tried to remove the child. She tried to stop him from seeing his child. She said that she was going to move to another state. She was going to take the child, this, that, and the other. Do you know what this man did? He said no. He said, you are not leaving with my child. There is no way that I am not going to see my child. He took as many days as he needed to take off of work, and he was in the courtroom with injunctions, with filings, with doing the paperwork. He said no. He was like, hold on, I need to put someone in, let's see. All right. So you know what, Liz? I haven't watched it. I woke up today to go watch it. So listen, so my friend, he went to court. He went to the ends of the earth. And he made sure that he was able to get a split, 50-50 joint custody. He didn't sit there. Oh man, look what she do to me. She took my baby away from me. She took my child. Can't see. Forget her. She took my baby. No, he didn't sit there and do that mess. He was a man about it. He was a man about it. He did what he needed to do because he said, you know what? That is my child. That is my DNA right there in the world. That is my child. I helped create this human being. That is a small part of me. Listen to what I'm saying. He said, that is my child. You will not take my child from me. And he did what he needed to do. He did what he needed to do. 50-50 joint, court-ordered joint custody. And she cannot move within a certain amount of space from him. Otherwise, they will revisit the judge and custody will be given to him. She cannot move. Listen to what it is that I'm saying. So when we start talking about what the homes look like in the black family, because black mothers are standing up to be the ones who are doing it in and out each and every day in the fight. We cannot absolve the men of their responsibility. So God's word saves, you need to reevaluate what a leader truly is. I can't understand how anybody, and you see, part of the problem is that far too often there are too many of these men who just are like, oh, well, she says she moving with my baby. Oh, and you're going to allow somebody else to take your offspring, your seed someplace else without your input, where you're not there day in and day out to help mold this human being that you helped to create? So you throw your hands up of the responsibility. Who's tucking in those children each night? Who's dressing those children each morning? I mean, people say a lot of different things about me, but they don't know what has gone on in my life behind the scenes. I know what it takes to raise a baby. I know what it takes to be there on the front line day in and day out. And children need supervision. They need influence. They need parenting. Not once a week. Not once every 2 weeks. Not on summers or every other weekend. They need it nightly, daily, every single day. Each day those children must get bathed. They must have shoes put on their feet in the morning. They must have homework done with them at night. Each and every day. Each and every day they must be taught lessons. Each and every day they have to be instilled in them the responsibility of how to become an adult. Each and every day it starts from when they're young. And then so then God's word said, get married, vet properly, use birth control, choose a man who's committed before bringing children into the mix. I have no issue with that. What I do take issue with, and I agree with that completely and wholeheartedly. And this is why I'm happy that birth control exists and why abortion is there too when birth control is not enough. I am happy that that exists. And there are far too many lawmakers. There are far too many lawmakers who are attempting to take away birth control and who are attempting to take away a woman's right to choose. And my whole point is, okay, once the children are in the world, how do you leave a child that is yours? How do you leave that child? How do you leave this human being? And then not here for it says, then they circle around when the child they abandon is all grown up. Exactly. When all the heavy lifting has been done. And Robert is saying, choose to kill a baby. No, Robert. Choose to abort a fetus. Choose to abort an embryo. Yes. 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 Because this is the thing, and I was listening to this argument about abortion. I was listening to an ethical argument about abortion, right? And so this is the argument which this is the scenario which made me really think, and I want you all to think about this, right? If a person, you know how they're harvesting people's organs, right? You know how they harvest people's organs, right? So just keep that in mind. So let's say you go to a party, right? Somebody spikes your drink, you pass out, and you wake up connected to a machine, right? You wake up connected to a machine. And the machine that you're connected to is a dialysis machine. where where a person who is right there is not able to live you without the cleansing of the blood that happens through your kidneys. So you're connected to this other human being. And if you disconnect from this person, that person will not be able to live, right? So you wake up, you have this person who is feeding off of your kidneys, and this person will not have the ability to live if you disconnect. Is it not your right to choose with your own personhood whether or not you choose to disconnect from a being who is not able to survive without your body? Is it not your right to disconnect as a viable human being who is able to survive on your own? And that right there just sealed the conversation for me. And God's word is saying you don't need abortion if you're intentionally planning a family. Black women also have the most abortion because of the lack of birth control use. Can you show me some statistics that say that black women are the ones who have the most abortion? Because according to the statistics that I've seen, that is a lie. And if you're just going to sit down here and start calling out things that are just a lie, then there's no need to take anything that you have to say seriously. So show us the statistics that say that black women at 12%, 6% of the population have the most abortions, please. So do you not have the right as a person of free will who is able to survive on your own to disconnect from a being who is not able to survive without you? So anyway, that's my point. I need to watch Neverland today, and tomorrow we are talking about we are having a conversation with Jasmine Island's lawyers, and we're still confirming the time, but we have confirmed the lawyer of the young lady who says that who says that so who says that that Dominique Williams she was one of his earlier victims. So listen, so Robert is saying it's your right, but it's killing an embryo God created. Everybody has their own view or opinion about who or what God is. And then two, if you choose, like I said, I gave you the liver, I gave you the kidney thing, that other person God created as well. If you believe in God for like that other person, quote unquote, God created as well. But if that person can't survive without your body, and you choose to disconnect from that person, then obviously God didn't create a design that would work without your input. So therefore the ultimate say so is with who God gave the input to. So you would control whether or not that man would pass away too if you disconnected from his dialysis machine. And Not Here For It says, what about black men spiritually and emotionally killing his child he abandoned, and the women, what? It went by too fast. All right. So listen, I'm going to get out of here. We've had a long conversation, and I will see you all. I want to do the Neverland video, and then Dipped in Indigo. We didn't went through it round the world and back on this one. And Rena, I choose not to do super chat because I want you, if you're going to support me, come to my website, tonyatko.com, and come support me that way. Get yourself an MP3, buy yourself a book, and then go from there. And Top Model is saying, Tonya, give these people some homework before you go. All right. You know what? I'll give you all some homework. So this is your homework assignment. I want you to go to census.gov, census.gov, and I want you to look at the median income for the average black family in this country. The median wealth, not income. The affirmations book was supposed to go to press yesterday, but there's a small little delay because of the text on the back page. So I'm working on that. So it's going to go to press this